The Colorado Rockies. Over under 65 and a half. They won 68 games last year. And we talked about how, the 81 and a half over unders are tough. These 60-ish wins over unders are equally as tough.
This is a brutal number. Because I want to be very clear. I don't really think that Colorado is good this year. I think they're bad. And I don't think, we see where the over-under is set, right? They're not a good team. But that 65 and a half number is tough. I've been handing out overs for the whole division. I'm like Oprah. You get an over, everybody gets an over. I'm going to have to go under on the Rockies, mainly because I picked over on everybody else. So I'm assuming they're beating the Rockies. Kris Bryant, they went out and they got a big contract, and he hasn't done much. Couple home runs. They just signed Moustakas today, which was, he's going to play second base for him. For where they're at, I don't think it's a bad signing. I'm not knocking them for that. Blackman's kind of, he's been there for a long time. I don't know exactly how much he has left. He's always going to be able to produce a little bit in that park. CJ Cron's going to be able to produce a little bit in that park. Other than that, I don't really think that they have very much, to be honest with you. I think they go just under. Again, they're not like a historically bad team or anything like that. But I think they lose a lot. And I think some of these teams in the division are pretty decent, and they're going to struggle going up against them.
Colorado was very tough. It was a great number. Vegas did an amazing job by giving them a 65 and a half. They won 68 games last year. So it's very tough to say if they were better last year than this year, right? There's not big additions. But I do think that they're better this year because Kris Bryant, I expect Kris Bryant to play more than 20 games, number one. Number two, like you mentioned, they did bring Mike Moustakas. That's a bat. In Colorado, they can have, that's where people go to have career years, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, their pitching is not as important because they play in Colorado, and their pitching is never going to be their forte. No pitcher want to go play in Colorado because they want to be able to make money, and you make money by having low ERAs and all that good stuff. So they don't have a lot of good pitching. Daniel Bard is a stud over there at the bullpen, but other than that, it's nothing that jumps out at you. Again, Charlie Blackmon is old. He's going to be 37. I think just Kris Bryant. If Kris Bryant gives you 120, 130 games, automatically it's going to be better. CJ Cron it's a stud over at first base. He hits absolute tanks. Again, they're not a team that you look at. It's like, whoa, but 65 and a half is not a number that you look and you go like, whoa, what a high number either. Yeah. If they go over, it might be just as last year, in my opinion, like 67, 68. I don't expect them to get into the 70s or anything like that, but I do feel like 65 is under because they were over, last year without Kris Bryant. And that was their big free agent, acquisition a couple years back. So I'm going to take the over on Colorado.
Right, because how do you see them going down if Kris Bryant plays more, in your opinion, right? Everything else you kind of feel is equal. They added Moustakas. To me, I think the division, like I said, I think it got better, which hurts them. And they just, it is a tough number. It is a really, really good number, to be honest with you. But it's a shame for Colorado because they play some fun baseball up there. They get those couple games a year that are a blast. There's always a big comeback. Feels like they kind of know how to play there. They're used to it. They know they're never out of a game.